Every fire is a lesson learned. Ooh, spooky. Really doing this again so soon. Forte propped open the double doors that kept the smoke lounge and casino separated so we could move freely between them. In the smoke lounge, Lyle stood, looming over Cyrus's body. Say was in the smoke lounge as well, gazing at the body from a distance. Used to it already, huh? In the casino, Forte put Ashley in a recovery position and was monitoring her. Kanon was standing between the rooms, glaring at the trail of debris. Missy went to investigate the smoke lounge and I was left to look on my own. Oh my god, remix? Okay, sorry, inappropriate. Okay, so he has like blood all over. Like, any wounds? The gun wound was front and center in Cyrus's chest. Oh really, it should have been obvious. Blood had soaked through his shirt. The deep pigment inundated the cloth and oozed onto the carpet. The gun wound very clearly told his cause of death. But my eyes were more curiously drawn to Cyrus's blood-stained hands. The blood could have only come from one source, his wound. Okay, he must have tried in vain to stop the gun wound from bleeding out. I trembled at the thought of what ended up being a futile act. That's it. Wait, where's the file? Oh, this is totaled! The kiosk has been knocked over. There was a faint streak of blood on the screen. It appears to be broken. How do you figure? I'm just taking a shot in the dark, but I think the Monokuma file was printed from the casino kiosk because this one wasn't operational. Kanon has a victim report if you want to take a look. Probably some technology involving proximity or something such. I really couldn't say since that sort of thing is out of my depth. I wonder if the kiosk being knocked over has anything to do specifically with what happened here. I can't say. The streak of blood implies that it may have been interacted with. But to what extent is beyond me. The kiosk being knocked over may have just been a casualty during whatever struggle occurred here. But the streak bothered me. It's a blowtorch. So that's what he was getting from the kitchen earlier. What are you talking about? You recall I crossed paths with Cyrus early in the morning, a bit before I started testing the rules by destroying the ovens. It was a brief meeting, but I was curious as to why he was in there as well. He must have smuggled the butane torch out. And you didn't say anything? Why should I have? I mean, you could have stopped him far in advance from whatever he was going to do with it. He's dead and clearly didn't get the chance to do anything anyway. Broken glass and torn fabric littered the floor around and underneath Cyrus's body. A struggle occurred here, that's for sure. It took place before Cyrus fell. The display case must have broke during the altercation and he was killed some time after, falling atop the refuse. That makes sense. It seems like the only way the room could have gotten so messy. Well, of course. No one's going to be cautious about their surroundings when their life is on the line. Luckily, the blowtorch didn't ignite, otherwise we might have come across a fire-consumed scene with nothing but destroyed evidence. I guess it is lucky. An overturned gasoline container. It's almost empty. Oh, it smells in here. Yeah, the smoke lounge wasn't really a pleasant place to begin with. But this... What do you mean? Well, when Ash and I visited the smoke lounge for the first time, the air was heavy with cigar smoke, I'm assuming. So to see liquor and gasoline spills all over the place and adding to the smell, it's not helping much, I'll say that. I see. I didn't visit this place beforehand, so I can't really say, but I'll take your word for it. But gasoline seems out of place here, doesn't it? Yeah, wouldn't that have come from the garage, maybe? Oh my gosh, I go through this here, but now that I say that, probably not. As you know, the thing with the ropes from the last case, I was like so confident about that, but no. Yeah, trail of blood. Hold on, that's the obvious murder weapon. Oh shoot, did Ashley do this? Missy's revolver, the weapon that took Cyrus's life. The gun handle is covered in blood. 4 shots were fired, leaving 1 bullet. Oh, the cylinder only has 5. Quite a few people knew about the gun, so it might be difficult to determine who went to retrieve it. I guess if everything's been clicked on, we can discuss. It's fine. Let's see. Okay, Carlon's not here. So... Oh my god. Ah. Say's hands were trembling. I'm so sorry about Ashley. It's scary, but I'm trying to pull through. It was a relief to see her still breathing, but I needed to find out who would have such ill will toward her. It's very noble. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. Actually, yes, there is. Why did you have rope earlier? What is it? I was stuck in the art gallery when the crime was going on across the hall. Couldn't open the doors whatsoever. I heard some footsteps and voices after some time, so I banged on the main hall's doors. That's right. You were the first person I saw. Do you know why the doors were blocked? Yeah. The double doors handles were bound together with rope. I'm guessing it was from the climbing center. So when I heard your voice from inside, I unbound the rope and you came coming out. Oh, okay. She demonstrated how she found the rope by replicating the state on the smoke lounge doors. Rope. I went with Ashley to the climbing center. She got rope to bind Cyrus. Did the culprit steal it from her and instead bind the doors to lock me in the art gallery? I don't know why we're absolving her this quickly. I'm sorry, this is terrible to think of a friend, but I'm not sure anymore what to believe. That's strange. And she was the last person we saw before we got locked in there. Who's to say, sweetie? Who's to say? I was also wondering where you were earlier this afternoon. I know Missy tried to call you out this morning, but you declined. Say's worried brow furrowed deeper. Well, I just thought after the events of yesterday, if someone was going to kill me, it doesn't matter what I do. What was she saying? And what I wanted to do was stay in my room. The killer could break down my door or whatever. But if it was going to happen, fate would find a way. So be it. You know, after I heard the second gunshot ringing outside, I peeked out of curiosity. Who even had a gun in the first place? Oh wait, you didn't know about that, eh? Oh, but it was pointless. Lyle had to drag me out and run me all over 3 floors just to find a bunch of nothing. Say mumbled a train of thoughts to herself, but it didn't seem like she wanted an answer for her ponderings. I see. Thanks, Say. Say seemed to possess a haphazard reaction to the recent events. I should talk to Lyle to see if their stories line up. Alright, speaking of which, hello. Lyle looked particularly aggravated. This place is a mess. There's no mistaking the fact that a struggle occurred. It seems to be the case. It's a shame I wasn't closer when this took place. Even after I swept the 3rd floor earlier this morning, I managed to miss something as big as this. What bad timing. About that, where were you this afternoon after the fact? Huh? Are you suspecting me? No. It's just help to know where you were so we can say you're in the clear. I was with Say. But didn't she keep herself locked up in a room all day? Beats me. All I know is that after I heard the second gunshot sound from somewhere upstairs, I saw Say poke her head out of her room. I dragged her out for my safety and hauled her around with me to find where the shots were coming from. We were on the 2nd floor by the time a 3rd shot went off. So you two can vouch for each other's whereabouts. What of it? Nothing. So Lyle has an alibi that can be verified by Say. What puzzles me most is where did a gun even come from? Yeah, neither of you were there. I don't expect you to believe me, but it was in Missy's possession. She brought it out to boldly state that she would not be firing it. She even recommended we travel in groups in any case something bad happened. So even if by the off chance someone did fire it, we'd be in groups, able to witness alongside our partner. Yeah, well, Say confirmed that she and Lyle were together when they heard the gunshots, and neither of them were even aware someone had a gun in the first place. Lyle was astonished. What kind of tactician will reveal their hand like that? It was a symbol of trust, in a way. I certainly am not going to use it to cause harm. I really don't think Missy would. That aside, it almost seems like she was micromanaging everyone's expectations and locations by doing so. Lyle just scoffed and continued to loom over Cyrus's body. Missy. 4 shots were fired. 4 out of the 5 existing bullets in that gun's chamber. 4 shots. I notice, however, there are 3 holes in the wall of the smoke lounge. Only one of them was a... Then those 3 weren't the ones that killed Cyrus. Yes. 1 bullet is lodged in his chest. The problem is finding out in what order these shots were fired. Which one was the one that killed him? Missy furrowed her brow. Echo. The voice was in a hushed whisper. Sincerely hope this hasn't tarnished your view of me. Huh? It's very clear that this crime has my name written all over it. I was the one who revealed the gun to be in my possession. I was the one who left it out in the open. And I have no partner to support my whereabouts during the crime. Despite that, I cannot tell you my alibi. Why not? Missy, what would you have me think after you just said all that? Please, trust me. I don't know if I can. She sighed. Cannot argue with that. Just have to let the trial discussion command our judgment. I must try to produce a compelling enough argument. Missy? Oh, okay, I thought there was something else. All this trail. Ew! That's it. Oh, we're just gonna leave her there? Gosh, hang in there. Ashley's hands were covered in blood. She didn't appear to have any sort of wound, so the blood on her hands could have potentially come from only one place. Did Ashley try to prevent Cyrus's death? If that were the case, whoever shot Cyrus could be the same person who took Ashley out so she wouldn't reveal the assailant. Excuse me? Is she gripping something? Excuse me? What was that? Hello? What? Oh yeah, Kanon. I approached Kanon as she overlooked the two scenes from the doorway opening between the rooms. You're probably wondering where I was this afternoon after we departed to search this third floor. I was with Forte in the garage for a large portion of the afternoon, as well as during the duration of the 4 shots fired. He can vouch for my alibi. Are they accomplices, maybe? Oh, no. You and Ashley came upstairs after us, right? Yeah, we did, but we didn't run into you two at all, though. We spent most of our time in the garage. It seemed to have the most potential for something useful out of the 4 rooms. Kanon silently surveyed the state of Ashley's body. Then across the doorway at Cyrus's distant figure. Oh, here's the Monokuma file. I got it from the casino kiosk. The victim's body was discovered in the 3rd floor smoke. Okay, you're messing with me, Monokuma. What the hell is it? That is not the cause of death. Are you doing this on purpose? Victim was fatally shot above the heart. Estimated time of death is 12:03. Like Pandora's file. This file is just as purposeless in telling us what happened to Cyrus. As for Ashley, I can't say. Do you think she might have been attacked? Like, hit over the head or something? We didn't see any injuries. And we kind of like, I don't know, spaced out when we touched her other hand. What's going on there? I guess. It's not impossible, but she's pretty tall considering. It would be hard to say what she was attacked with though. There's nothing on the casino side of the doors that could be used as a weapon. Our discussion fell flat. You seem a little more open today. Forte and I had a small parley in the garage. In short, he told me I shouldn't try to forego attempts to escape this game. She grumbled under her breath and exhaled sharply. Despite Connor's frustration, she ended up providing more open conversation today. Likely as a result of wishing to avoid being caught in the same voiceless situation she was in during yesterday's trial. The scene is quite unruly. It's uncertain whether it would be more or less difficult to determine the culprit in the scenario considering the many questionable items lying around. As opposed to what happened to Pandora, this is a bit jarring. Where were you though? I remember seeing you go into the garage with Kanon earlier when we paired off to search the 3rd floor. Yes, and that is precisely where we ended up. Were you knocked out way before? maybe? I don't know. The two of us were investigating the garage as thoroughly as possible, but found nothing of note. We then went outside to investigate the other personal room doors at the end of the third floor living quarters hall. But as you may have figured out already, these personal room doors are locked. Okay, we heard something. Che peccato. I heard him mutter something under his breath as he grazed the blue butterfly pin on his scarf, but I couldn't quite understand what was it. Did you provide a translation note? Probably not. Oh, what a pity. Where was I? Gone on and then heard the first shot of 4. We rushed into the garage and barricaded the doors from the inside. Oh. You barricaded the doors. We thought it would be the best course of action to protect ourselves. Neither of us had the gun, so it had to be someone else. A reasonable conclusion, is it not? You always have an alibi. Is that an alibi? We'll see. After that first shot and through to the 4th, we hid away in the garage until we heard a commotion in the 3rd floor halls. It was quite frightening hearing all of those shots in such close vicinity. I never thought we would come upon this gruesome scene. Forte sighed and mournfully looked at Ashley. So Forte and Kanon blocked the doors. That explains why the garage side double doors wouldn't open. Wait, what did you barricade them with? Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, that was also short. I let out a deep sigh. Conducting an investigation was harrowing. I was exhausted beyond belief. Our group was already so small, yet given everyone's paired alibis, it became difficult to say who was behind this crime. It's difficult to say, barring one person. What was Missy thinking? Had she been lying to us this entire time? No, I couldn't jump to conclusions so quickly. It wouldn't be fair to Missy. Regardless, I have a bad feeling about all of this. Okie dokie, you all know what time it is. It's time for the class trial. I hope you have enough ammunition to shoot down the culprit. If not, then I guess you're all out of luck. The elevator will take you all to the courtroom once everyone has boarded, so make it snappy. The timer for your bracelets to release toxic gas is set for 10 minutes after this announcement ends. Don't drag your feet now. I rubbed my forehead in distress. This vicious cycle we couldn't see the end to continued once more. Why? I went over Ashley's side and sat next to her. I gently placed 2 fingers at her wrists and felt the faint pulse. Such an eerie feeling, knowing Ashley was alive, but still so close to death. How? Forte laid his hand on my shoulder. Echo, we really ought to get going lest we forget ourselves in danger from Zero's capricious ways. Yeah, you're right. Forte, would you mind? Not at all. Forte lifted Ashley from the knees with ease, carrying her to the elevator. I followed behind him, trying to keep a close distance to Ashley. Once again, our group apprehensively sauntered into the elevator. Our community had shrunk by 3 Yet in the elevator cab we were divided further. Lyle and Say, Kanon and Forte, with Ashley in arms, myself and Missy. Distrust hacked away whatever threadbare remaining connection we had. This time, damning signs pointed at one person in particular. Missy Vesper. Missy provided nothing to disprove these signs. Cyrus had been removed from the picture. Ashley was on the cusp of following. I was confused, hurt, and alone. What was I going to do during this trial? The doors opened up and revealed the circular room once more. I rushed in and raised my voice, calling at the expanse nothingness in the room. Sarah! Eve! We know there's an infirmary connected to the courtroom, so please! Please! Help Ashley! With a flash, the symbol from the other announcer, Eve, appeared. Echo. There is a cross button for the infirmary in the elevator. The doors will open on the opposite side of the courtroom, leading you to the infirmary. I turned around and the courtroom side elevator door opened. I hopped in and pressed the cross button, opening the doors behind me. Forte swiftly carried Ashley in and gently laid her on the infirmary bed. He stepped aside as I clambered to the bedside. Ash, please be okay. It was impossible to tell if she was breathing. Every inhale and exhale was so small and weathered. A glass encasing lowered to cover Ashley and the monitor above began displaying her vitals. Her heart rate had plummeted to 45 beats per minute. I will do my best to monitor her. Please, leave your worries at the door. There is a greater matter at hand awaiting you. Yes, Echo. We need to begin the glass trial. The health is out of our hands. We can only do so much. The best thing we can do is to find the culprit. A discussion will reveal what occurred. Yeah. I steadily stepped back. Ashley, I'll figure out what happened to you. I swear on my life I'll find the culprit. Forte and I left the infirmary, crossing through the elevator that connected the infirmary into trial grounds. Heavy clouds over the dome hung over the dome glass ceiling. Everyone was already in their places as Forte and I crept to ours. Another murder. It was unreal. Cyrus's mild and unassuming demeanor made a 180 when his talent of ultimate charisma was revealed to be a ruse. He quickly suffered the consequences, his sudden aggressive temperament coming to a full stop out of nowhere. Ashley's worrying condition. What could have possibly happened in the 2 rooms we found them in? However, despite the behavior Cyrus displayed, it was still shocking that someone would actually retaliate. Somehow it felt like a hasty overreaction. Then again, a hasty reaction was what essentially put Art to bring Pandora's demise. It was difficult to call Art the culprit after the lack of black and white intentions. But in the grand scheme of things, the rules of society were set to deliver retribution to those who commit crimes. Who's to say this place operated under the same conditions? The courtroom was eerily silent as we waited for Zero to appear. The atmosphere was justifiably tense. Lyle and Sace shared a similar dark vibe. Kanon and Forte both looked unnerved. Missy managed to put up a poker face despite the situation.
Yes, it's about time you guys got here. And again, I have to say, it's so weird how quiet you bunch are. Is no one amped up for another class trial? I put a lot of work into these, you know.
Of course we're not excited, you knave!
Hey, Missy is so mean. It's a shame no one's excited, but this ball's gonna keep rolling whether you like it or not. Let's go over the rules, shall we? You're all on trial to figure out who the culprit is for today's heinous crime. The rules are as follows. Discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate, and we'll just see what happens from there, yeah? One of few outcomes will occur. Determine and vote incorrectly, and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine and vote incorrectly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. Phew, you might just live to see another day. Our victim in today is Cyrus, the ultimate charisma. And more like ultimate nonsense. Was no one suspicious of his name and talent? I would be. It really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that charisma was not really his talent. Regardless, I called out his drivel last night and look where we are now. You were all quick to take what I said to heart, huh? Well, I'm glad. Saves me from having to get a motive set up and all that.
Wait, what was the motive question? It was... Oh shit, okay, please come on.
So without further ado, discuss away!
Don't mind if I do. Lyle. Missy. You think you know what I'm going to say, huh? Then say it for yourself. You think I'm suspect? Oh, gold star! The point is moot. I'm not the culprit, and that's all I'll say on the matter. And why do you expect me just to roll with that? Because if you all vote incorrectly, then we'll all be in danger. Prove my innocence or take my word for it. Missy, what's going on with you? Don't you think that's a bit too much to ask given the circumstance? I have my convictions. I'm refusing to share my alibi for my own reasons. And yet you don't fear the consequences? You're ridiculous. I'll lay it all nice for you, okay? And then we can discuss whether or not your tongue is the wisest thing to do in this scenario. Consider the facts. You were not partnered with anyone. You refused to share an alibi, and you were the one who had the gun in the first place. Do you know what killed the victim this time? A gunshot! You likely proposed traveling in groups so you could operate on your own. Isn't this all damning not to be true? Despite her dangerously challenging Lyle, I held my belief in Missy steadfast. I wanted in all sincerity to trust everyone involved in this horrible game. But considering 2 people have been murdered, 1 executed, and 1 attacked, it's becoming difficult to justify my stance. I didn't understand. What was there for Missy to hide? You know what? Forget it. I'm taking charge of this discussion. Once again, I can only rely on myself. Echo, you're a walking record of events. Tell me why I shouldn't think Missy was alone during the crime. Walking record? I'm not some encyclopedia of evidence. We don't have any truth bullets. Oh, come on. If you have some weird photo, fess up. Echo, Connor, I don't care. One of you ought to pipe up with something we can work with. It can't be possible that neither of you 2 saw anything. Lyle has his sights set on getting something out of me and Connor, but as far as I know, neither of us could have seen anything. Oh yeah. Shut up, Lyle. I have no photograph of the sort. But when we arrived on the 3rd floor, we didn't see anyone in the halls. I was in the garage with Forte for the majority of the afternoon. Yes. As soon as we heard the first gunshot, I suggested we retreat to the garage. We blocked entry from the 2 doors, the main hall door and the art gallery door. As for me, after 2 shots were fired, I found myself stuck in the art gallery. The 3rd floor activity rooms can't be locked. Carlon and Forte blocked the garage side doors. Inexplicably locked. I mean, not inexplicably, we said vote. And didn't you say that? Hold on, say, can you recall what happened when we met earlier? Before we discovered Cyrus's body, that is. When we met? You came tumbling out of the art gallery when Lyle and I arrived on the 3rd floor. Yes, but I couldn't leave the room from the inside. Oh yeah! Lyle, when we arrived on the 3rd floor, there was a banging coming from the gallery. I couldn't check to see who or what was inside until I unwound the rope that bound the double doors together. See, Lyle, there's no way Cotton or I saw anything that happened during the crime. If anything, Say and Lyle's whereabouts ought to be grilled as well, since they could have more questionable actions than us. That's right. Say, Missy said you were alone in your personal room for a portion of the morning. Yes, she declined an invitation to my morning announcement. Yeah. But later, after I heard 2 shots, I poked my head out. Only to get dragged out of my room by Lyle. I was investigating the mansion. I figured if anything fishy was going on, I'd have a witness with me to back my testimony. And while nothing happened to us in particular, at least I had Say there to support my alibi during the gunshots. Despite that, you were acting suspiciously this morning, smashing the ovens and all. Lyle, don't you think you yourself warrant an explanation for what you were doing? Huh? I don't need to justify anything I'm doing. I'm the ultimate puzzle master, putting this evil game to solve it inside out. If all of you have any faith in your ultimate talents, you'll have faith in mine and my goals as well. I don't care if I break the rules. It's all part of the plan. Revenge art. I'll stop the killings. And I'm solving this killing game on my own, come hell or high water. But didn't it occur to you that I'm on the same agenda? There aren't any stakes for you, Missy. I was the only person I've encountered that made my talent worthwhile. I can only trust myself. I'll work alone until I can grasp the situation with my own hands. Only then will it be real. Everyone involved, you're all just pieces of this puzzle.
Ew, what's this guy even saying? You're an oddball, Lyle. But thanks for reminding me.
Reminding you of what?
I don't have much power outside the courtroom, believe it or not. Eve mostly controls and monitors all that outside boring stuff. I knew you'd all eventually end up back here soon enough, so I just had to wait.
What?
Ah!
With a snap, the trial wall slammed open to reveal a large metal hexagon adorned with a cool-looking M. Lyle crumpled to the floor as we all backed away, astonished at whatever invisible pain was being inflicted on him.
It's a sonic weapon. High-powered sound waves from me personally to you, Lyle. That's what you get for fiddling with my door trap.
Oh, we're finally getting into it.
Ah! I think Lyle's brain has been fried enough. There's no fun or suspense to be had in killing you myself unless I'm executing a culprit. Don't mess with my stuff.
Ugh. Somehow Lyle remained standing. Please, we must move the discussion along. Unless we face a similar dangerous fate. Shut it, Missy! We're here because of you! Lyle was livid, fighting back against collapsing by a will of sheer force. I'm taking control of the discussion this time. Echo, I need you to recall as much information as you can about the murder weapon, the gun. Who do you think you are demanding such things? I'm Lyle Terminator, the ultimate puzzle master. Need I say again? Solve this case like I've solved all the puzzles that have come my way. Your memories are a tool for solving this, and I'll be damned if I don't use something as instrumental as that. Get to it, Echo. I don't have all day. Alright. I'll try to relay what I remember to you all. Lyle might have it out for Missy, but going over the timeline could help us put her in the clear. I think it would be best to start from when the murder weapon was revealed. Maybe then we can trace who had it in the final moments. Who was originally, Missy. Missy was the one who initially revealed the gun this morning. She said she woke up in her personal room with the gun given to her as a test to see whether or not she belonged with the preservation project. Missy called me and some other... Oh, there were 5 of us, weren't there? Lyle's not there, so it's the first one. Missy assembled a small group for a meeting. There she brought the existence of the weapon to our attention and discussed her intentions with the gun. She would not cause any harm with it. The group consisted of Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Kanon as well. Everyone at that morning meeting agreed to place an implicit trust in our peers. Missy left the gun in the foyer. After the meeting, Missy left the gun on the main foyer table, wrapped in the cloth she had been carrying it in. After discussing the existence of such a weapon, something happened. Lyle was destroying the kitchen. The last one's so random. We discussed the existence of the gun, among other things, until we were interrupted by a loud sound coming from the kitchen. Our whole group went over there at once to see what was going on, and there we found Lyle destroying the kitchen oven as a means to test the rules. Lyle announced that he would solve the killing game and went to the... Oh... I don't think it was his room. I think it was Jazz Club. No, never mind. He was looking. The other student? Okay. Maybe I'm mixing it up with the last case. Lyle said he would solve the killing game and absconded to the 3rd floor to look for more clues, all while clutching the secret note from yesterday. Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be wet? He left the kitchen and took over the elevator up as the rest of us remained in the foyer, confused. Shortly after, Cyrus appeared at the top of the 2nd floor stairs, causing someone to act Missy. Shortly after Lyle departed from the 3rd floor, Cyrus made an appearance at the top of the 2nd floor stairs. Missy went up to confront Cyrus while having a conversation with him in the Just... Yeah, that I remember, but I was like, oh, maybe Lyle went there first, I don't know. Okay, never mind. But yes, the Just Club is involved, but just not with Lyle. Okay. The rest of us went to investigate the 3rd floor for an escape route. I believe it's worth mentioning that Kanon and Forte went up first, with me and Ashley following afterward. None of us took the gun. From the looks of it, Missy and Cyrus's conversation in the Just Club is a grey area that none of us were privy to. We should follow them. Care to explain yourself and why we shouldn't be suspicious of a private altercation moments before his murder? I was attempting to extract information from him. As you all know, he was acting intensely suspicious yesterday. However, rather than avoid him, I thought to take action and confront him head first. You mentioned this before, but can you explain why you think he's putting on a facade? I mean, for all we know, every word of his mouth, out of his mouth could be a lie. Body language. Body language. Seems Kanon noticed it as well. Cyrus's body language gives off the impression that he's tense, as if he were being pressured or under stress. Actions speak louder than words, after all. And that's true. I did think he looked a little more foreboding than usual. Ultimately, did you get anything from him? Unfortunately not. He was just the same, stubbornly cryptic person as he was last night. So that's it. In Echo's recollection of people involved with the murder weapon, whose name came up several times. Missy. So don't you think your course of actions would heavily imply a murderous intent that led to this circumstance? Yes. Signs are strenuously pointed toward me being the one behind it all, but I don't wish to divulge the reasons behind those actions. I didn't want to admit it. I was beginning to have my doubts about Missy. But if this discussion was worth anything, it had to be a test. Whether or not I could really trust Missy. She revealed a gun after all. And asked us to tacitly trust her. Should I even trust her to begin with? What if she was just goading someone on to being incriminated so she could get away with it? Should I trust Missy? Ooh. Oh my gosh. Ooh. How different would it be, I wonder? Could it be different? Sorry, Okay, what happens when we say yes? I want to believe in her. That meant scrutinizing her actions to free her from suspicion. We couldn't afford to jump to conclusions. If I may, I think we need to turn over as many questionable facts as we can to lift suspicion. I agree. The evidence is unmistakably painted with Missy's name, but I'm still not convinced she would have the malicious intent to kill Cyrus. Missy was the one who suggested splitting up to find things that could threaten Cyrus into talking, but she made it clear she never had any intention of firing the gun. Is that so? It was after she had her conversation with Cyrus in the morning. Our morning group of Kanon, Forte, Ashley and myself paired off to investigate the third floor for an escape route. After some time, Missy met up with me and Ashley outside the garage to talk about Cyrus's weird behavior. It was then that she discussed with Ashley the idea of threatening Cyrus to talk. It was just before the shots began. It's clear that she used the opportunity to act alone and retrieve the gun herself to shoot Cyrus. How would bringing that up lift suspicion from Missy? If anything, is more damning proof. Ooh. Just a minute, please. What I don't understand is this. Why would Missy kill Cyrus if she didn't get the information she wanted? I can only assume the following for her case. She made an attempt to have a civil conversation with Cyrus, only to walk away empty-handed. Motivation is lost, and there shouldn't be any reason to threaten him further in that case. Oh, sure. Make something up in her defense, will you? I can't doubt Missy now. She's the one who made the bold move of bringing the gun to our attention. Now I have to trust that she didn't do anything wrong. At least the discussion's progressing. I can at least do that. There's no telling what happened between Missy and Cyrus. Seeing as all of us witnessed her contentious interaction with him in the jazz club, it might take some work to get Lyle on the other side. So what are we doing here? Missy could be lying about not getting information. Ah. Why should we be protecting the culprit? Protecting. Missy is the only with actions of glaring noteworthy suspicion. I mean, where the did those, like, Kanon and Forte go? We didn't see them. And also, Ashley has blood on her hands. There's so many questions. What? Hang on just a minute. We need to discuss every aspect of this case before jumping to any conclusions. I believe there's something at the crime scene that can clear Missy of suspicion. Oh, okay, no. Then out with it! Oh. The kiosk? Was it the kiosk? Hold on, blow a torch. Gun. No, the gun is loaded. Pooh. Kiosk? There's a handprint on it. Well, yeah, there's a handprint. She doesn't have blood on her, does she? Missy doesn't seem to have a connection to the broken kiosk. Now I need to reassess. Oh, what? Okay, blowtorch, I don't think we've really touched on that. But I'm not sure how that clears her. Where would she source that, maybe? Right, but the gun is what's damning her. I mean, there's blood on it. She doesn't have blood on her. When did she get the opportunity to wash her hands, I guess? It's the only thing I can think of, but I need to spin this into an argument somehow. Although it's been noticed several times that the gun puts Missy in a dangerous situation, there's something strange about the gun. Lyle, say, there's something I want you to recall for me. Before discovering the body, you two ran into Missy in the 3rd floor main hall, right? Yeah, that was right before I helped you out of the art gallery. If that's the case, I want to ask, did you see blood on her hands? Blood on her hands? Nothing of the sort. Actually. So you didn't see blood stuck in her hands, but there was blood stuck to the handle of the gun. If Missy really did kill Cyrus by shooting him, why didn't she have blood stuck to her hands when you saw her? You wouldn't be able to forget seeing something shocking like blood-stained hands. Actually... Simple answer. Missy could have washed her hands. When did she get the time to do that, though? When Say and I approached the 3rd floor, I saw Missy exit one of the personal rooms. Oh, shit. Actually... She refuses to share her alibi because she must have been plotting the crime with an accomplice on the 3rd floor. That's why she was acting fishy when Lyle and I ran into her. Huh? Missy? I don't know. I thought I heard something like that outside the garage doors. Oh, the conversation. I heard... Please conveniently remember this. I did not make notes, I should have. I heard parts of the conversation. Okay, please. Now that I think about it, I think I can figure out who was... Okay, Lyle was there, but... Wait, was Say there too? I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can, unlike the rest of you. Saving us and yet blaming us at the same time. Lovely. And what were you thinking poking around in one of the 3rd floor personal rooms? Oh, right. How did you even get... Ah, we're gonna get into that, are we? That's none of your business. So you heard that. Ah, Say and I caught Missy in the act. She was poking around in one of the 3rd floor personal rooms. And how do you suppose she entered the room? She entered that room using the resident's bracelet. Wait, I don't think we established that for this floor, did we? We'll see. How else would she have gotten in? The door was still intact, so it's not like Missy broke it down. Oh wait, but then Ashley tried to get into Silver's room and she couldn't, right? Shit, what's going on here? The resident's room bracelet. How could she have acquired such a thing? Is there a body around? I can only assume whatever Missy and Cyrus talked about earlier might have something to do with the fact that she acquired something couldn't possibly belong to. Oh my god. Oh. In fact, the idea alone of her entering someone else's room is cause for concern. That's true. How did she enter someone else's room? The mechanism for room entry lies in our personally assigned bracelets. Similar to how the bracelets grant access to kiosk functions, the doors must default to being locked and only unlock when we're nearby with the corresponding bracelet. There! The bracelets on our person can't unlock doors that don't match, so Missy entering a room that's not hers implies she can gain access through alternative means. What alternative means? What else? She was witness speaking to the only other student here that has been revealed to be associated with the killing game, Cyrus! Oh, was it again? Fine, I'll yield. Cyrus offered me the bracelet of a student was closely acquainted with. Out of morbid curiosity, I was told to visit her room. Darling. Missy withdrew a small rose gold bracelet similar to the ones we all wore ourselves. Okay, what's the name on it? Can we see? So yes, not only do I have the bracelet on my person, but I do have a bracelet that does not belong to me. As for what I discovered in the room, well, that's as much as I'd like to say. That's more than enough. There we have it. That explains how she gained entry into the room, as well as lists a reason for her to retaliate against Cyrus. Oh, this is not looking... If that doesn't pin Missy down for a motive, then I don't know what will. She had such a thing this whole time? How was I supposed to defend something like that? So much evidence has stacked against Missy. Despite the overwhelming number of incriminating facts against her, Missy remained unflinching. It's like she's waiting. Waiting for what? For us to act on her behalf? Out of trust? Remember, I ought to use the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I have absolutely no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. If Missy's been withholding about her alibi, then there must be a reason behind it. I have to try to work with it rather than against it. I have to trust Missy's intentions. Therefore, I should try to construct an argument that doesn't involve her. Okay. Missy... okay, if we're trying to put Missy out of the question. I still think Ashley's suspicious because her hands were bloody. And like, we were weirded out when we touched, like, I think her left hand. So loyal. Okay. We'll see. Is there another angle I can approach this by? Oh yeah, what the hell was the blowtorch all about? Oh wait, no, it was on Cyrus's person if we were to believe Lyle. Before we learned of her activity in the room, we were in the middle of disputing the blood-stained gun. Lyle has been aggressively utilizing the connection between Missy and the gun for his argument. But let's say we take her out of the picture. Say she never came in contact with the gun. Perhaps we can tackle the argument from a different side. With just the gun solely in question, we can ask, who really handled the gun? Who handled the gun? Fine. Why don't we entertain the thought? Given the blood-stained handle of the gun, whoever held the gun must have stained their hands in the process. There can only be two people who handled it. Cyrus and Ashley. Whoop-de-doo! So there we have it. Echo. Oh no. Do you think Ashley is capable of killing? Uh-oh, what? Wait, Ash would never! After all, I'm certain she knows of the dangers of killing someone. Her own life would be on the line. I do remember she said she wouldn't go down without a fight. It could be a self-defense thing. Of it. So what? This is the only explanation plausible if we take your position of Missy's innocence into consideration. If Ashley's life were threatened, don't you think she would retaliate? Anyone would fight back. Fight or flight, Echo! There were clear signs of struggle in the smoke lounge after all. That can't be it. Besides, you confirmed it yourself. We recognize that everyone has an alibi. And we've been neglecting talking about Ashley since she's unconscious. No! So if you really want to stand by Missy being trustworthy, then you have to realize that there must be someone else within our group that killed him. Ash doesn't have a motive either. Yes, she does. Echo, think about it. Throw away your relation to Ashley and think logically. Just because she isn't here to defend herself doesn't mean she's immune to being suspected. No. No. My head was pounding. I began to feel dizzy. If Ashley had the rope when we were together on the second floor, there was no rope to be found at the crime scene. She must have bound the double doors of the gallery. It confirmed that the rope kept me locked in the gallery. Ashley yelled out and left to confront something. If you think about whoever handled the gun, it can only be those two people. No! I don't want to think about it! Please! Stop this! They don't want to discuss Ashley's involvement due to their close relation. But there might be something important that we're missing. Something important that Echo only knows. Why, who's talking right now? What the hell? Is there a protagonist switch? Echo is guarding something. But they've painted themselves into a corner. There's no clean way to get out of this mess.
Yikes! Echo, you got over there?
Uh-oh. I can't accept this. Echo refuses to understand that Ashley is the only person who is capable of handling the gun and shooting Cyrus. Now I'll have to lay all the pieces for them. Are we loyal right now? Puzzle pieces as always. Oh, dang it. Okay, cool. Echo, allow me to discuss the facts. All of them. Even the unsavory, trifling matters will come to play. Just like when you were the one who noticed Art slipped up. If you insist on protecting Missy, there's only one person whose actions remain to be scrutinized. And Ashley is the culprit in question. Do I have any objections? Apologize, Echo, but this topic cannot be ignored. Yes, it's pretty important. The rest of the class remain in silence as Echo glared a hole in me. Again, let us begin with the weapon, the mysterious gun that came from Missy's possession. Seeing as the gun handle was stained with blood, we can surmise only 2 people were in contact with it. As we found on the crime scene, both Cyrus and Ashley had bloodstains all over their hands, which naturally leads us to believe one of them fired the gun. I can concur with that assumption as to how it came to appear on the 3rd floor. Just before the gunfire occurred, Ashley and I hatched a plan to confront Cyrus. I was to use the gun as a show of threat. However, when I went to retrieve it from the foyer, it was missing before I had got to it. It's plausible Cyrus got to it before you. Regretfully so. Then, at the speculated time in question, Cyrus is the only possible suspect to have initially retrieved the gun, since Echo, Ashley, Canon and Forte were somewhere else. Now, I believe we can all agree, based on the sounds heard, there were 4 shots fired in total. In that case, we need to determine the order and relevance of each shot. Canon and I boarded ourselves in the garage on the 3rd floor after the first shot rang out from the smoke lounge. We sheltered ourselves inside from there on out. Lyle and I partnered up after the second. We were all the way on the 1st floor. So we can determine these first two shots were not the life-threatening ones, since no one was within the vicinity of the smoke lounge, and there were 2 gunshots in the wall. However, between the 2nd and 3rd shots is where Ashley's alibi becomes problematic. Sorry, where to go? There's nothing wrong with Ashley's alibi. I can verify for it. Can you? I was with Ashley. Oh, their text is pink. From when we went to the 2nd floor from the... I never left. Oh, the stairs? Okay, I think we can let it go. Oh, what? The stairs? Echo's thoughts and judgment are being clouded by their relation to Ashley. I have to focus somewhere in Echo's statement and lay the facts straight so they understand. I was with Ashley. Oh, no, it only goes forward. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Shoot, Can you? Oh, okay, whatever. I was with Ashley. Yeah, it was her handprint on the... What? I'm guessing it was her hand. We can match it, right? Oh, no. Okay. The rope. I mean, we're playing as Lyle, so... What did Lyle see? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's... Oh, shit. But didn't you say Ashley shoved you in the art gallery just before you heard the 3rd shot? Hold on. Oh, yeah, duh, the rope. No, it's just... I don't know if we could prove it as all, but yeah, okay, if we're going with that, yeah. Yeah, that's right. The rope binding the doors proved that there was a moment that you two were separated from sight. It's possible that she entered the smoke lounge in that time frame. In that case, the 4th and 5th and final shot ought to be the one that killed Cyrus. The only person left without an alibi, given Echo's testimony of the culprit's last movements. The only person left is Ashley! Oh, this is a furious back and forth. Ash yelled Missy's name. It's possible Missy was within the vicinity of the smoke lounge. Vicinity of the smoke lounge. Still strange we cannot... Okay. Yeah. What happened to you? This is dark. Echo is struggling, trying to protect Ashley. What do we do? If there's anything you can think of that will cut through Echo's lies, tell them that the truth is out there. Ash yelled. We saw them. We saw Missy, didn't we? Oh, we're playing a say now. What? That's not possible. Remember, why when I saw Missy exiting a personal room? She had just come out of the personal room when we arrived and only then began to act suspiciously. I suppose I ought to surrender holding my tongue. Yes, I was withholding of my alibi earlier, but the point of secrecy has passed now that my whereabouts have come into direct question. I kept my alibi secret to prevent beginning today's deliberation with immediate worry and disillusionment. I confess Cyrus bestowed upon me a terrible gift. This bracelet. He allowed me access to a room that was not mine. A room belonging to a close personal acquaintance. One I hold in my thoughts often. I entered the room upon Cyrus's taunting instruction that I see for myself what become of this person. I discovered nothing save for my fears becoming reality. My alibi is simply as follows. I did not leave the third floor personal room I gained entry to after I heard the second gunshot. Therefore, I did not see Ashley on the third floor at all. Took long enough to get that testimony out of you. In that case, Ashley really is the only possible person to have encountered Cyrus in the smoking lounge. Therefore, we can assume from the appearance of the room that Ashley and Cyrus fought in the duration of time between the third and fourth shot. Oh my gosh, it's like ping pong. Oh my gosh. Her blood trailed. What the? There's no visible evidence of the... The fuck do you mean? The glass, right? The gunshots. We're everyone now. We are the ultimate shapeshifter. Your judgment is clouded, and I think you know that. There was glass and blood littered near Ashley's unconscious body in the casino that could have only come from one place. The casino itself was spotless, free of signs of struggle. The detritus leading from the smoke lounge to the casino, however, tells a different story. These facts in mind, let's review. We've discovered everyone's paired alibis, Missy's room activity, and Echo's entrapment in the art gallery in relation to the gunshot timeline frees them from suspicion. We also determined Cyrus was the one who was initially wielding the gun, and that Ashley had plans to encounter Cyrus's scheme. In the small period during which Ashley and Echo were separated, a struggle occurred between Ashley and Cyrus in the smoke lounge just across the hall, resulting in the disorderly state of the room. Yet at the end of it, one person came out alive and the other dead. Echo, you have to see that the culprit behind this is as plain as day. No. Face the facts. There's only one possible answer. I refuse. I don't even recall Ashley considering Cyrus a threat. So what motive would she have to kill him anyway? Echo, why are you lying? I couldn't be further from the truth. There must be anyone else involved. Anyone but her. Jeez. Echo, you really are a stubborn one. Don't you understand the danger we're in? Please, Echo. I understand this is a painful realization for you. You're just as mortified that such a dreadful thing has happened. It's awful, but there has to be a reason, right? Oh no! There is a reason. Oh, I don't get it! I don't get it! Why would Ash endanger herself like this? Throwing her life away like this? It seems so careless. Based on Ashley's suggested actions, it's hard to believe she was negligent about facing the danger. But why would she throw her life away? What are we shooting with? Something else that needs to be brought to Echo's attention. The kiosk message? His gun wound. Yeah, the blood. Gasoline. I believe I have the answer. Or rather, we all do. It seems Echo didn't see the kiosk message. Wait, yeah, we didn't when we played as them. What? I was like, message, we didn't come up, but that's when we were playing as Echo. That's sneaky. Kiosk message? Remember, the digital kiosk can deliver dictated messages across other kiosks in the building. It's correct. Garnon and I saw the message as we waited out the gunfire in the garage. This message was dictated from the smoke lounge sometime after the third shot was fired. I recall it read, "Kill Echo?" Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's no one asked you.
Oh, I remember now. Lyle and I saw the second floor kiosk light up when we were running by.
Come on! You heard the gunfire too, right? So far there have been 3 shots, but where the hell did a gun come from? How should I know? We can't take our sweet time in a moment like this. Oh look! The kiosk is displaying a message.
The smoke lounge, that's on the 3rd floor. I never saw such a thing. It's awfully damning in what it's implying. I concur it's quite a pointed message. In that case, we can assume that Echo might have actually been Cyrus's intended target. I mean, Echo Ashley didn't endanger herself out of carelessness, but for your sake. She threw her life into the fray to keep yours safe. Then, should be little doubt that the 4th shot must have been the one to kill Cyrus. Why are we only bringing this up now? What the fuck? The shot fired after Ashley left Echo's side. I don't understand. Why, for me, I'm not like the rest of you. I'm no ultimate student. I can't survive this strife between ultimates. I don't have skills or talents to offer the world. It should have been me. At the opposite end of the gun. Pardon me. The voice of Eve interrupted the looming courtroom silence. I have an update on Ashley's health. She is steadily recovering at the moment. She's okay. However, I discovered traces of Complex 53 in her system. Complex 53? Is that not the very substance Zero tried to threaten time and time again to release? Yes. I examined the bracelets in her possession, and it appears the gauze vial has been shattered, allowing the liquid state to enter her system via absorption through skin. Shattered. It's possible that it broke from some kind of impact from Cyrus and Ashley's fight. Just a minute. The bracelet in her possession. Is it not her own bracelet? It is not. She had in her possession the bracelet of Silver Prower. Ashley's bracelet is still intact. She had Silver's bracelet, then there's no doubt she had a clear motive. It's possible she was goaded on by Cyrus with the bracelet of an important figure, just as Missy was. Wait, Cyrus probably just broke the vial himself and administered the liquid to Ash during that fight. Oh, Zero could have unleashed it to harm her. Sarah's killing game announcement always talks about toxic gases, so it's possible he's the one behind it! Damn it, Echo! I'm tired of this! You still refuse to accept the reality of this case! Zero can't have done it, and I'll tell you why. It's simply not even up for debate! I was testing the rules early this morning, right? Rule 4 states that breaking major assets is strictly prohibited, but nothing happens all day! It was only until the beginning of this very trial I suffered the effects of Zero's sonic weapon as punishment for breaking the rules. If he waited until we entered the trial grounds to punish me, why would he unleash the Complex 53 toxin if there weren't any signs of Ashley breaking the rules? Ah! Zero, did you not release Complex 53 onto Ashley?
What? I'm only the arbiter of this game. Answer! Not dare do it, not me.
This can't be!
Still don't get it!
We've been running around in circles in this trial because you've vehemently refused to face the truth! Don't you have any value in your life? Your lapse in judgment is what will get us all killed! Roll credits. I have some sympathy, won't you? I have to agree with you. Echo, please. This trial was difficult enough to participate in, but it's necessary to determine the culprit for our safety. Allow yourself to be selfish and act on self-preservation instead of the well-being of others. Don't concern yourself with protecting me. Don't concern yourself with speaking for Ashley. Only end up hurting yourself if we judge this case incorrectly. Just follow the truth. You can protect yourself. I know we're asking a lot since the truth isn't what you want to hear. But please. Protect myself. What did that mean? I thought I had to protect Missy on behalf of Trust. She placed her faith in us after all. And I had to protect Ashley because she's my closest friend. But myself? I felt stuck. I know Missy didn't kill Cyrus. I just know it. It wasn't possible for anyone else to have killed him, so It was clear as day. I just didn't want to accept it. But by doing so, I was drawing out this trial for my own self-indulgence and dragging everyone else through this hell. I've forgotten the reason we're here. To save ourselves. I've purposely suppressed the fact that there was something on the crime scene that solidified Ashley's involvement. Okay, we gripped it. Let's see what it is. Come on. Gotta confront it. I'm sorry, Echo, but I saw the damning thing. I chose to forget it. Yes. The weapon was undebatable. The culprit had a motive. The struggle showed traces of her involvement. The person who fought Cyrus and eventually won was... Gee, I wonder who... Oh my gosh, this is... Yikes! Doesn't matter which one we pick. The consequences. Plot twist, they're all wrong. Oof. Ashley... Oh, you're back. Are you?
I'm gonna take this long conversation to assume you're all done discussing the case, yeah? After all, it was pretty obvious from the start. Well, whatever. This is your space anyway, so without further ado, it's voting time!
Is there a chance where we get to vote for literally anybody else? Like we did in V3? That'd be funny. Oh well. Alright. Without further delay. Ooh. Yeah, I knew she wasn't getting out of this unscathed, but I didn't think it would end up like this. Oof.
She gone! Ding, ding, ding! Yes, the culprit responsible for the murder of Cyrus Surik is none other than the ultimate jockey, Ashley Westbridge. And almost all of you voted correctly.
What?
Luckily, majority rules, so it's punishment time!
No, what? I clicked on Ashley, what? What do you mean that almost all of us voted correctly?
Oh, well, I guess it's my fault for not mentioning that not voting is a big no-no. But voting should be common sense. You have a responsibility to make your voice heard. Lives on the line! Or something like that. Missy would know.
Vote me into this asinine argument.
Think of it this way. You're voting for the lesser of two evils. Punish one person for committing a crime, or punish everyone for being ignorant. And I could see in Echo's face that they figured out, so I suppose I'll call it a vote. I'm just the nicest, most flexible judge ever.
Echo, you didn't vote! How could I? Unbelievable! Everyone's lives are at stake and you still had the audacity to protect the culprit! You're a hopeless case, Echo! I don't understand how you failed to recognize the weight of our actions! The truth was glaringly obvious, yet you continue to turn away! You have no perception of consequence. How dare you refuse to give your all in order to save yourself? Why are you attacking me? This thing that just happened to my best friend. It's awful! Don't you know how I feel too, Lyle? We've already lost 3 friends. Why does this cycle keep turning? Of course I know how you feel, but it's pointless to let things spin out like this. That's why I'm trying my best to solve this killing game. I don't need you turning your cheek away from reality. That will only make things worse. Damn it! I looked over to Ashley, who recovered enough strength to join us in the courtroom. The last moments of our discussion. Ash, I don't get it. To protect me, you threw yourself into danger. Look where it got you. The foot of an execution. Ash, you're such an idiot. How could you do something so careless? Echo, I thought about nothing but your safety. All I've ever wanted is the safety and health of my friends. Look what in trouble I got everyone into. First Silver, now Echo. Maybe it's better like this. Echo, you don't have to worry about me anymore. Thank goodness, right? If I was in that trial, you wouldn't have budged. You would have voted Missy off instead. At least you know you can trust her. What are you saying? I thought that if I could remove a threat from this horrible game, my actions would have been all worth it. But it turns out Cyrus was just asking for this. Cyrus used Silver's bracelet as a show of threat. But the reason he had it, Silver didn't, was because Cyrus said that he had eliminated him. Isn't that right? He said the same to me when I received my additional bracelet. Cyrus, ultimate confidential informant. He thinks we would soon rather forget. And he used that information to get under our skin.
I told you he's someone to be wary of.
So, Ashley essentially lost us the preservation project's mole. What if he had information that could have gotten us out?
Oh, he had information, all right. But he would never tell.
Oh, no. Sarah's right. When I confronted him to inquire about his facade, he kept dodging my questions. He was acting so odd. And as it appears, his strange behavior went all according to plan. He was acting suspicious to invite someone into attacking him. I completely fell for it. But I felt terrible because when he collapsed, his aggressive facade faded and he laughed. He was glad. Yes. Cyrus fully intended to take someone down with him. Cyrus fired those initial 2 shots to draw attention. I arrived on the 3rd floor with Echo. I ushered Echo into the art gallery and bound the doors with rope from the climbing center. I confronted Cyrus in the smoke lounge and he fired right away. The 3rd shot was a near miss. Cyrus! Not a step closer, Ashley. Unless you'd like to end up like your friend Silver. What do you know about Silver? Oh, I know everything there is to know. Financial records, personal records, etc. After all, I am the ultimate confidential informant. My job is to seek information about the Preservation Project's subjects. I personally saw to his removal. And you're next. Not if I have anything to say about it! Yeah? I'd act fast if I were you. You wouldn't want to go down in flames without getting the information you want, would you? How did his racing helmet end up in your room? Why, by yours truly, of course. And his personal vehicle is a 94 Lister Storm, the very vehicle that is in the garage right now. Cyrus threatened me with an awful trinket and a time limit. He prepared spilt gasoline and had a blowtorch ready to burn the room down if I didn't act. I fought to keep him at bay. He eventually dropped the gun. Retrieved the gun and gripped the handle fiercely. But Cyrus remained completely cool. He noticed my hesitance and silently tossed a tiny rose gold bracelet in my direction. I snatched it out of the air, turned it over in my hands to reveal the name engraved into it. Silver Prower. Quiet! This isn't right! Why brought us through this awful game? For the sake of the future? I'm not an ultimate student! Let's play a game. There's 2 more bullets somewhere in that chamber. If you fire and I live, I'll let you walk away scot-free. Your hands would be clean, and you were meant to be an ultimate student, born to benefit the world. If you fire and I die, then... Of course, you know what happened. But in his last moments, he just let out a chuckle and sigh of relief. He looked relaxed. He looked as calm as when we first met him. I was confused. Why wasn't he fighting back at all? You're a tough nut to crack, you know. What are you doing? Trying to save you. What? I know I took a chance with that shot, but there has to be another answer. The Preservation Project is a miserable organization that I contributed to. I rallied this group of ultimate students, compiled all the information I caught about you all for the project. The project, the game. It's a cruel experiment. For the sake of the future. Why are you telling me this? So you won't feel guilty about killing me. How could I not feel guilty? There could have been some other way to get you out of this mess. Cyrus, I don't understand. Why did it have to come to this? Because I thought I had immunity from the game. But when Zero called me out for my cover talent, I knew something was wrong. I was Zero, an arbiter for the killing game conducted by the Preservation Project, wished to reveal my place in the game. Something was wrong. It's all wrong. This whole game is all wrong. I couldn't wrap my head around a thing he was saying. I didn't dare wish to know what he was talking about, but... What's wrong? Yes. I made you do a horrible thing. The problem with this game is that you become attached to the ones you're with. As time goes on, bonds are made with the strangers you eventually come to call your friends. I should have never involved myself with you all. I couldn't meet his eyes. I knew it would be too painful. And you might hate me for this, but it's for the best. For For you and me, winning the game is nothing but smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, but thank you for helping me escape this game. He held my hands in his own trembling grasp, weakly pushing my attempts at stopping his suffering away. After I shot him, I knew immediately what terrible fate I found myself in. I was tethered to meet the same end at the moment I fell into his trap. I fled the scene, leaving it a mess, because I knew it would be pointless to conceal the truth. But even then, I knew the trial discussion would trace back to my incrimination. That's why I went as far as to shatter the vial of Complex 53 and Silver's bracelet to take myself out of the picture. Ash, why would you do such things to yourself? It's awful! I know. Please don't hate me. And forgive me for making such a selfish request, but all I ask is that you live and survive. I did it all for you.
Ah, that's sweet. But too bad for you that sickly sweet sentimentalism isn't going to save you from your execution, silly. Murder is murder. What's the thing you said? Oh, there's no grey area about it. No, wait! There's no stopping this freight train of despair, Cole. You were among the ones who sealed her fate, after all. So sit back and enjoy the show! No!
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Ashley's hand slipped through mine. She disappeared into the black as I collapsed over myself. Okay. All I could do to pull myself up was keep my focus squarely on Ashley as her horrified visage was projected for us to grimace upon. I tried to soak up my final moments with her, even though I knew they were going to be gruesome. Ashley was chained to a metal post. An industrial whirring spun in my skull as a set of arms began to wind up. Clenched at the end of each arm was a horseshoe. Ashley was bound in the direct path across the mass of grinding machinery, 40 feet away. Ashley's expression was taut. There was only one way out of this game for her, and it was winding up in front of her, just a few paces away. The first pitch was thrown. The light clink as the arm released a horseshoe made my heart drop. It missed with a full thud on the dirt behind Ashley. Second, third, fourth, sixth pitches with her, and with wild abandon, as if purposefully missing to prolong my own suffering. Anticipation was miserable. Ashley's grey, sorrowful eyes seemed to meet mine from within the projected screen. I couldn't look any longer. I felt sick. I turned away in agony and heard the distinct sound. I could feel the life drain from my body. There was nothing but pain during her last moments. The pain that destroyed her body. And the pain that stung in her heart.
Oh, it's so satisfying building up all this hope and cheer to eventually strike it down with a decisive kill. It's a bit boring, though, you participants killing for defensive reasons. I didn't even give a motive, which was a bit of a curveball, but interesting that a murder occurred nonetheless. Well, I suppose I did put Cyrus on blast for conniving with the Preservation Project group. He got in the way of the game after all, so I guess it was beneficial for me in the end.
The whole trial made my head spin. I felt wretched. I stared at the floor. Not a breath was heard from the others. They seemed just as stunned into silence. And in the depths of our devastation, Eve's silvery voice crept in. I beseech you all to keep the memory of your friends close. It's awful. I don't want to remember this. Remain strong. As I nursed Ashley back to health, she kept asking aloud, "Is Echo okay? Is Echo okay?" She cared for you until her last breath. Don't think for a second she didn't put everything on the line for you. Why me? I apologize. I cannot say for certain what she was thinking. Except, Ashley, without a doubt, cared for you deeply. As difficult as it is, cling to what remains of Ashley. A memory.
Really? That's all you have this time, Eve? Some empty sentimentalism? You know, Eve claims to be on your side, but look what she's done. Why not just leave Ashley to die of the complex 53 poisoning, Eve? Oh, I know why. Because you love reveling in the despair too.
What is this music? Do I know this music?
She nursed Ashley back to health so I could kill her.
Ashley returned to us, only to be cruelly beaten to death. That moment, that shred of relief, so quickly quashed. It was so quickly mutilated into twisted, dark feelings.
How pathetic. You'll never end the game like this. You'll fail once more with feeling. Despair will triumph over here yet again, Eve. And it's all your fault.
Zero and Eve walked away, and the courtroom was engulfed in silent darkness once again. Echo. Missy's voice was a whisper. She laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Hey, let's get you out of here. I listlessly followed Missy out of the courtroom. Everyone else filtered out of the courtroom at their own pace as well, dissolving into their own individual lost thoughts for the evening. Without a single word, Missy led me down the living quarters hall to my personal room. Before I entered, Kanon stopped me out of nowhere. I realize it must be hard for you, Echo. But here, just take this. Kanon handed me a photograph. Oh, the one from the intro. But I'm missing. And I'm assuming Kanon took the picture. It was a photo of the students gathered in the atrium. Everyone was in the photo except me and Kanon. Excuse me, what? I took this photo on the first day. It was after the first Killing Game announcement. Did I miss something? What? After the Killing Game announcement? I recalled the moment in time. I went to my personal room after declining Ashley's invitation to use the spa lounge with Pandora. Art insisted that I work my magic and take a photo of the group since we'd be staying together as friends in this mansion. Despite that awful announcement, he still wanted to take a neat, pleasant picture. Without me? Rude. I'm a little embarrassed of it. I don't often photograph groups, but I hope this eases your pain. Why would you show me this? What do you mean? I don't want to see this. This idyllic scene of our friends who aren't with us anymore. The killings are too vivid in my mind for me to believe a simple photograph. I hate this. Sorry. I was just trying to help. Kanon tore the photo in half. Happy. Kanon spat her final remark with a huff before sulking off, her footsteps heavy on the carpet. Missy picked up the pieces of the photograph. It was awfully cold of you, Echo. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I mumbled. I have nothing to offer the world as an ultimate. I can't do anything. I feel like I lost myself in that trial. I had to detach myself from the people I care about. For what? The truth? I just scoffed. After all, it was Missy's fault a gun was introduced to the group. It was her fault the gun fell into the wrong hands. Her fault. I lost Ashley. Missy sighed softly. It's never my intention to get Ashley executed. I shrugged Missy away. I didn't want to listen to her. I went to my personal room. Sat on the bed. Sat. And I cried. Art and Ashley. They did a horrible thing for their friends. When pressed, the two of them only thought to protect the ones important to them. What an interesting concept. It's completely idiotic, though. They disregarded their lives for someone else. Selfless and stupid is what they were. Selflessness gets you nothing in return. In a game like this, you have to be selfish and act in self-preservation. Always look out for number one. Number one. Number one. Number... Yeah, the numbers on Zero's clothes, eh? They're fun. Okay, does anybody know binary code? I don't. What's this? Ah, no, this is confronting.